Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin Bangin with Mikey, episode 180, and this is the last installment of Men's Mental Health Month. I was just looking up some stats before I hopped on here to do the podcast, and 80% of people who die by suicide are men. Some good coffee, and it's 4% higher than women. Or 4 times higher than women, I should say. So 80% of men who die by suicide. It doesn't specify how they commit suicide, it just says they commit suicide. We say the leading cause of men committing suicide is depression, PTSD, plethora of other issues. But at the end of the day, man, men matter. We do. And it's imperative that, you know, we seek the help that we need. A lot of the times we'll sit there in silence, or we'll sit there and we'll mask, our trauma, our sadness and fear. Not our trauma, sadness, and fear in laughter. I was watching Marlon Wayans comedy stand up, and it was essentially a therapy session, man. This man hasn't grieved, since he lost his mother, and he broke down on stage, and you could tell it was genuine. You could tell it was definitely him going through the emotions. Just last night, when I was talking to my girlfriend about my brother, and she didn't mention this, but I know she could tell. She could tell I was cracking up over the phone. Like my voice is cracking. I was trying to hold back tears. Because when I say I lost my best friend, I did. I look around my house, and it's too quiet. I gotta walk past his bedroom to get down to the hallway, to get through the hallway. And it fucks with me every day. There's a bunch of pictures on my kitchen wall, and it's mostly him doing the stuff that he loved to do. And then there's a few pictures of us too, but it fucks with me because I lost my best friend, and there's nothing I can do to get that back. I lost the main dude who I could go to with anything. And he would simply say, "Bro, is it really that serious, or you just tripping?" And for the longest time, I didn't know how to be vulnerable. I didn't know how to safely express my emotions. When I say that, it's like I didn't know who I could trust. And what's really sad about that issue is that, not just from my perspective, but from other people as well, a lot of us men have told people stuff in confidence, and then we have it thrown back in our faces. It's not like a podcast where people are talking about, former situations with people that they knew, because it's like everybody does that. It's not like you're outing that particular individual, right? Because you're not. And when I say that we have shit thrown back in our face, it's usually from the people that we trust, that we love, that we're sleeping with, whatever it is. And so when that happens, and when we get violated like that, we just don't open up to you ever. Or the version that you get from us is completely different than what, than what you're used to. But in reality, if you didn't do the fuck shit that you did, you know, you'll be okay. You know, and it's not necessarily something that's, you know, something that's bad or whatever it is, but it's like you don't use what people told you in confidence against them in future situations. Or you don't use something that, you know, that bothers you months prior and then try to turn that around and use that as ammunition, right? Like, no, if it bothers you, say something right then and there. Like, don't wait 2, 3, 4, 5 months to bring that shit up. You know, don't do that, because it's like then we're gonna be like, okay, what else are you stockpiling to use against me in other situations, right? So like I said, men's mental health, it does matter. It's not something that people should take lightly. It's not something that people should definitely brush under the rug. It's not something that should be joked about, because the amount of men who are committing suicide and the amount of men who are just offing themselves simply because they feel that they have nowhere to turn is insane. Like I said in the first installment of Men's Mental Health, beginning of this month, something like 500,000 men commit suicide every year. You know? And it's sad that every year we have less and less men, you know, to talk to about our problems. I had ran across this picture, and it was about men's mental health, and this individual had drawn 4 guys sitting on the beach, right? And it had the dates. I think it was, the first picture was like 2018, second picture was 2019. And each picture had one less person. And what they were trying to say is that men are taking their lives at an alarming risk, because you know, we are. Now, I'm not saying that everybody hasn't been depressed or everybody doesn't know, you know, what to do when, you know, when they get depressed, because a lot of the times it's like depression happens in many different ways. It's not, you know, it's not you having messy, you know, like, you know, dirty laundry on the floor that you haven't cleaned up, you know what I mean? It's the dishes in the sink that are piling up. It's you calling out of work, you know, excessively. It's you not taking a shower for days on end. It's you not opening your blinds because you don't want sunlight to come in. It's you not understanding that it's okay not to be okay. I think a lot of people don't, and when I say people, I mean men, we don't know how to do that. We don't know how to sit there and say, look, baby, I'm fucked up. You know, we don't know what it's like to go to therapy, you know, because it's like, and open up, because we've never been taught that, you know. We don't know how to deal with certain things because we've never been taught how to deal with them certain things, right? But it's on another point too, it's definitely our responsibility to get the coping skills, to get, you know, to get the coping mechanisms that we need to be able to maneuver in a really, really fucked up place called this world. Because it's imperative that we, you know, that we get these skills and we understand that they're important. And like I said, it's okay not to be okay. Hell, there are days where I'm, you know, not the cheerful, funny guy that people know. Call it prep, call it the protocol, whatever it is, right? At the end of the day, like, you know, me being what I've been through with losing my brother, and it's different from losing my dad to losing my brother. My dad, I knew he was gonna die. You know, he had cancer, you know. And we never really had the best relationship. So there's that. And so when he died, I didn't know how to feel. Of course, I felt sad and everything too, but with my brother, that nigga was literally my best friend. You know? Everything we did, he was, majority of the time, he was right there next to me. Okay? Hell, I told him I was gonna move to California before I told my moms. And I remember telling him that. I was like, yo, I gotta holler at you real quick. He said, yeah, what's up? I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about moving to Cali for school. I was like, all right, nigga, go. Like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, ain't nothing here for you, bro. You straight. And I mean, it's like, if you got a chance to go get that master's degree, go get it, you know? And he's like, you gotta grow sometime, man. It's like, and you know, you can't do it here. He was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, man, it's like, if you want to go get that piece of paper, dog, and go get your little shingle, my man, go ahead and do that, right? And when he said that, I was like, bet. You know, I felt more comfortable doing it because my best friend gave me his blessing. You know? And it was funny because we would call each other. Well, he would text me every day. I would text him back, and then but we would call each other once a week, you know. And he was like, "Yo, Jeffrey," I'm like, "Hey, what up, my boy?" You know, because anybody who watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Jeffrey was a butler. You know, so put two and two together, right? Yeah, man. So we would just sit on the phone, we just chopping it up, you know. I mean, it was never nothing serious. Like he would talk about what he got going on this week or what crazy bullshit happened last week or whatever it is, and we would just sit there and talk sports, you know. We would sit there and talk about girls. We would sit there and just talk about about everything, man. And that's my dude, and I love him and I miss him. And I have my moments, but it definitely, I don't want to say it gets easier, but it's definitely something that I'm learning to deal with. I'm never gonna be okay. I got a hole in my heart that's never gonna be filled. You know? I got a pain in my chest that's never gonna go away. And maybe one day I'll go to therapy and get all this shit figured out of my head. But until then, I don't know what my deal is. I don't know why I'm so apprehensive to go to therapy, not go to therapy. Maybe it's because I just don't feel comfortable, you know? And it's just something that I have to work through. And a lot of it has to do with me recognizing that it's okay not to be okay. You know, I'm a strong dude, you know? Like, I'm the nigga that everybody comes to solve their problems. The fuck I look like going to somebody else? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sit there and say, I don't feel okay. It's not in my DNA, you know. It's not in me to be like, yeah, I'm not feeling 100% hot. Okay, you know what, bro? Because in my mind, depression is a luxury. Nigga, we still got bills to pay. You know, bills don't stop, life don't stop. We gonna figure this shit out. But right now, partner, you gotta put this to the back burner. And excuse me, this is me talking to me. You gotta put this on the back burner, and you have to understand that we got some other shit that we have to take care of first. We're going to take care of us. But right now, we got other shit that we have to handle in this moment. And I do my self-check-ins with myself. I sit there and I have mental conversations with myself. And if I gotta take a mental health day or 2 or 3, whatever it is, just to help me get through whatever I got going on in my head, I'll do that. Cause I'm a firm believer, man. It's like, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. And it's imperative that people understand that, man. It's like you don't get better by pretending you're okay when you're not. I'm gonna say that again. You don't get better by pretending that you're okay when you're not. And I think that's extremely important to recognize. Okay, we're not okay, but how do we get okay? How do we get better? What's the appropriate steps that we have to do? Maybe it's having a circle of friends that you trust dearly, like I do. Or maybe it's having a significant other that wants you to be vulnerable with them and is teaching you how to do that, like I have. Or maybe it's simply you going to therapy. And I don't know about y'all, but last time I checked, I'm a black man. I gotta have a black person to talk to in therapy. You know what I mean? It's like there's some shit that you like. It's like that non-verbal language that black men have with each other. Be like, bro, you see this bullshit? Yeah, bro, I see it. Like, we don't say nothing, but we recognize it because it is what it is, right? And so at the end of the day, my man, like I said, it's okay not to be okay. It's never okay to pretend that you're okay when you're not okay. And that wraps up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month for me. I will see y'all next week. I love y'all. Hope y'all keeping it 4 P's. Private player, positive pushing. See y'all next week Sunday. And remember what I said. Know your worth because you're better than what you are. And it's never okay to pretend to be okay when you're not okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Goes.